So I'd like to ask you, what do you think? What's the bigger difference between English from England, where is our accent, and from USA? And yeah, do you think it's a huge difference? And if people had to choose, what would say they should choose?
Well, I think the first thing that comes to mind, Raphael, is it's a personal choice. I don't think this is something you can really advise people on. It's something that, like you're doing, it's trial and error. It's if you're learning English, let's say, if you want to learn English from a basic level, start there. Then I would say the key factor is to find someone you can understand easily. You don't want to be struggling to learn a new language and struggling to understand what somebody says, right? so so I would just say, rather than where the teachers are from, is how well do you connect to and understand the teacher? you know are they speaking your language in terms of something that you can understand? Because you're going to feel more relaxed, more comfortable, more free to make mistakes and to enjoy. And I think they're all hurdles to overcome in speaking a new language. So I would say that to begin. um, I would say that if you're learning a new language, it would be good to find a teacher you connect to that you understand well, and probably stay with that teacher for a while. Why? To establish a firmer foundation. So if you imagine that you start using lots of teachers with lots of accents and lots of teaching styles, I would feel that would be quite confusing. Maybe for some it works, but I think it's a good question to ask yourself. No? Do you want something steady and stable to give yourself a firmer foundation? And then go out there and say, okay, now I've got this smorgasbord, this big menu I can select from, all different types and tastes of language, of accent, and of, yeah, even ways of speaking.
I'd say in my case, for example, when I started to learn English, I never really thought about it, and I know that a lot of people they have some concerns about it, what they should do. So the only thing that I did was, so it's the same language. There are a lot of different accents, but I have to learn the words. If I learn how to say hey, how are you doing? I'm gonna be able to say that in each country. It's only gonna change maybe the accent. Sometimes we're gonna use a different word. Like in English, I'd say garbage and trash, in England and USA. And so I never really thought about it. And right now I can tell the difference. I totally understand. I totally can tell the difference between the accents. If I hear someone talking with a British accent, I'm gonna know that they are from England. But that came through time. I had to do a lot of listening. And in fact, that never really bothered me. I never really I thought, wow, I have to learn English from USA or from England. Of course, I love the British accent. I think it's charming, the way people talk. But I can't speak like that, I'm used to the American way since I think most of the things that I learned it was from USA, the TV shows, the movies. I never really watched anything from England, So yeah, but I don't think
Sure.
that's a problem at all.
No, look, the key thing is that we want to communicate with each other, right? So, I mean, there are times I think if people want to maybe for business studies, for instance, maybe for business studies, um, people might prefer something a bit more formal, a bit more polite, you know. So then, hey, how you doing isn't exactly going to provides the best kind of um rode into a business meeting. But I think these are all things that we can easily overcome and discuss. That's the thing. I
Yeah.
think Cambly's great just for discussing, for having a good conversation around virtually any topic with anybody. And the accents are interesting because sometimes I can listen to an American accent and it's closer to what I would call a standard English accent or British accent than, say, someone with a very strong accent from the UK who I might struggle to understand. So
I
again, it's not quite so easy, black and white, as saying, well, American or British. We're all many colors.
And I wouldn't say that, for example, I think Portuguese from Brazil and Portugal, it's a lot different than than English from USA and England. I tried once to watch to a guy from Portugal, and it seemed to me that it was a different language. I couldn't understand. Like I didn't understand at all. It was different. The way he talked. I thought I found he was speaking too fast, so I didn't even know if he was actually speaking Portuguese. It's different. I struggle more trying to listen to Portuguese from Portugal than trying to listen, for example, to English from England or other country.
Sure, interesting, isn't it?